Can't the pendulum ever land in the middle in this country? Can't we have something in between a complete who dares not open his mouth for fear of mansplaining and owning a tiger?
Bill Maher just dropped a truth bomb that has everyone talking, and this time, he's not taking aim at politicians. He's addressing something much deeper, the quiet war on masculinity. Maher argues that somewhere along the line, being a man became something to apologize for. Everywhere you look in movies, commercials, and across social media, traditional masculinity isn't just mocked. It's treated like a problem that needs fixing. You've seen the pattern. The clueless dad who can't make breakfast without burning the kitchen down, or the husband who's always the punchline. It might have been funny once, but now it feels deliberate, like a slow drip of conditioning. Maher says he's had enough. He's calling out Hollywood for turning men into jokes and fathers into fools. And judging by the reaction online, a lot of people think he's absolutely right. Just about bad comedy anymore, it's become programming. The same message keeps getting passed down from one generation to the next. Men are fools, dads are punchlines, and masculinity is outdated. What started as harmless humor slowly evolved into a cultural script. Somewhere along the way, the balance disappeared. Strength was rebranded as toxicity, confidence turned into arrogance, and simply being a man became something that needed fixing. Hollywood didn't create this mindset, but it certainly amplified it. From The Simpsons and Family Guy to Three Men and a Baby, the image of the bumbling, clueless father became the standard. It's been repeated so often that people barely question it anymore. It's just accepted as normal. Here's where things really get interesting. Maher's argument isn't just that men are being mocked, it's that Hollywood has gotten lazy. It's easier to write the clueless husband and the all-knowing wife than to create characters with genuine depth and balance. But that isn't clever comedy. That's entertainment dressed up as propaganda. And men aren't the only ones losing here. This isn't about flipping the joke for the sake of equality. It's about ending the joke altogether. Think about the message it sends to kids. Fathers are fools, mothers are flawless, and being a man is something you're supposed to outgrow. That's not progress. That's programming. And the consequences aren't just clever. They're told to be strong, but not too strong. Confident, but careful not to offend. Protective, but never patriarchal. The signals are so mixed that no one seems to know what being a man even means anymore. And the few voices that dare to talk about masculinity usually fall into extremes. Loud influencers selling a cartoon version of manhood, or performative male feminists desperate for approval. Somewhere between the obsession with dominance and the fear of being cancelled, boys are growing up without real guidance. Maher was right when he said teenage boys are turning to figures like Andrew Tate because they don't see better options. It's easy to understand why. When every commercial, headline, and TV show paints men as weak or broken, it's no surprise they start idolizing the loudest person who claims to stand up for them, even if he's dangerous. And here's the real irony. Society rages about toxic masculinity, yet no one talks about toxic insecurity. Men are constantly pressured to downplay their strength just to prove they're good people. You see it everywhere on talk shows, red carpets, and interviews. Men tripping over their words to insist that women are smarter, stronger, and better. That's not respect. It's performance. And Maher calls it exactly what it is. Theater. Compromise has turned into conformity. And when everyone tries to please, no one truly rises. Both sides end up diminished. Here's the truth. Greatness and failure have never belonged to one gender. Men built empires and destroyed them. Women have ruled with grace and sometimes with cruelty. Power doesn't shift because of chromosomes. It shifts because of character. So no, women wouldn't automatically run the world better, and men aren't destined to ruin it. Human history has always been far more complex than that. Yet Hollywood keeps selling the illusion that it's one-sided, and that might be its greatest deception of all. The tension around what it means to be a man today keeps growing. Young men are bombarded with mixed messages. Be confident, but not too confident. Be strong, but never intimidating. Show empathy, but don't overdo it. And in all that noise, very few honest voices are offering real guidance. So many are left reaching for extremes, either following loud online personalities who equate masculinity with dominance, or performing a hollow version of niceness that feels fake. Maybe it's time to ask tougher questions. After decades of mocking men, should we really be surprised that so many young guys are looking elsewhere for direction? Bill Maher's message was never that men should be worshipped. It's that balance has disappeared. Respect shouldn't come at the cost of tearing the other side down. Pop culture has leaned on lazy stereotypes for too long. The bumbling dad, the clueless husband, the man who's always the joke. That's not progress. That's repetition. And swapping one caricature for another isn't equality. It's just the same story with a new target. Respect isn't born from insults. It comes from recognition. Throughout history, both men and women have built, led, failed, and triumphed. Compassion, creativity, and strength have never belonged to just one side. When we forget that, we lose the very thing that makes equality possible. Maher's final message isn't a rant, it's a reminder. Maybe it's time to restore balance and stop mocking masculinity. Because kindness and strength can coexist. Confidence doesn't have to erase empathy. What moves humanity forward isn't competition, it's respect. So perhaps the real question isn't who wins the gender debate, but whether we can stop turning it into one. Strength without empathy becomes arrogance, and empathy without strength becomes fragility. If we truly want a better world, it begins with balance, a world where women don't have to fight to be heard, and men don't have to apologize for being men. A world where respect isn't conditional, it's mutual. Maybe the next revolution won't be about choosing sides at all. Maybe it'll be about standing side by side, because in the end, the world doesn't need better men or better women, it just needs better people. If you enjoyed this honest breakdown, make sure to subscribe for more straight talk and thoughtful commentary. I'll see you in the next video.